Thanks, Mike. Please rise and follow me in pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands. Mayor Shea, please call the roll.
Trustee Henry,
Here.
Bobby,
Here.
Trustee Evans. Here. Mayor Williams.
Here.
And in the presence of the other fine ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, sir. This time we have a presentation from our engineer about the stormwater management. We have to do it here.
If anyone's interested, I think you were emailed the annual MS4 stormwater report that we sent to the state.
All 87 pages of it.
So for brief, I think you've heard all this before, but there's 6 items that comprise the report, and we have to touch on all those items and act on them every year, and then put that on the report. First is public education and outreach. Getting the public informed about stormwater. And we do that through flyers and through our website and on recycling calendars and so on. Then public involvement and participation, various events through the year. We've always been a little lacking on that. Thankfully, this year we have a Conservation Advisory Commission who's brought the Sawmill River cleanup to the village. I've advertised this Sawmill River cleanup every year on our website and our lobby and here and there, but it's always somewhere in Ardsley or somewhere else along the Sawmill. It's not in Elmsford, so you're trying to get Elmsford people to go somewhere else to clean the river up. So thanks to Megan and her efforts, there's going to be a Sawmill River cleanup here in Elmsford on April 22nd. I hope to be there this year, right along the Sawmill, and they'll be pulling trash and things out of the river and along the banks and making it look good and helping it clean up the water in the Sawmill and where it feeds into the Hudson River. So we're making progress on that point. Third is illicit discharge detection and elimination, which is an ongoing thing where we see someone dumping something into the sewer, in the storm sewer. We do something about it, write them a ticket, a violation. Also, every year I have to go around to all the outfalls and inspect them and keep a log. Then there's construction site stormwater runoff control, which applications like those that came in tonight have to do certain things to maintain the cleanliness of the stormwater both during construction and under number 5, post-construction stormwater management, where the things they put in place, the apparatus is maintained and service so that it continues to clean the water that's leaving their site. And finally, there's pollution prevention and good housekeeping, and that's where our own staff does what they need to do when they're washing vehicles or cleaning catch basins, cleaning streets, and doing all that type of stuff to keep that debris from entering the stormwater system and the river to begin with. So that's all covered in our report, which we will be mailing up to the state after tonight. And open to any questions anyone might have.
Thank you, Tony, for a good job. Mr. Lee is in the audience with us. He's that committee. We thank you for attending all the meetings and bringing the information back to the engineer and representing us in all those tedious meetings. Thank you. Next time, I'd like to open up a public hearing for the 2023-2024 tentative budget. Information has been submitted from the administrator. We went over it.
I have a tentative budget summary that I will enter into the minutes.
Thank you.
I think everything's pretty self-explanatory. A couple things to highlight, we're slightly over the cap. but I want to point out that our cap was approximately 5.8% or 2%. That map again. And our property assessment went up almost 8%. And the tax rate before tonight was going down 1.14. It'll probably be going down with that one change about 0.75.
Anyone from the public? Noted no one spoke, motion to close the public hearing. Roll call.
Trustee Henry,
Aye.
trustee Coffey,
Aye.
trustee Evans.
Aye.
Trustee Lopez. Mayor Williams.
Aye, this time we'll open the public hearing for local law amending chapter 1 of the Code of the Village of Chelmsford entitled General Provisions, and a new article 2 entitled Meetings of the Public Bodies of the Village of Chelmsford. Council, you wanna?
Yeah, just briefly, this is the new law that allows for remote participation by trustees or members of the municipal board without the obligation to allow the public into your home or wherever you're going to be. It applies if there's an extraordinary circumstance that prevents you from coming to Village Hall. Sometimes it's you're sick, you can participate at home. Sort of excuse from coming here. Two, that's quorums by the village board. As long as all the locations are open to the public, you can remotely have a quorum for meetings. If you weren't, let's say 4 of you were, had unusual circumstances, if you're not here, providing the address, you don't necessarily have to come. So, but in any event, you drafted this local law based on what other municipalities are doing, some recommendations from the state, and we also prepared a policy paper which sort of explains everything, limitations. And that's approved by a resolution, the local law would be it's public hearing. Question?
Thank you. No, we went over the next couple of meetings, so it's good. Thanks, John. Anyone from the public? Making you say that. Or no comments, motion to close the public hearing? Good. Roll call?
Trustee Henry,
Aye.
Coffey,
Aye.
trustee Evans,
Aye.
trustee Lopez. Mayor Williams.
City planning applications on hold. Any objection to lumping the two ARBs together? 92 East Main Street, new sign, and 5 North Goodwin Avenue, a new one, I don't want to do it. Roll call.
Trustee Henry,
Aye.
Coffey,
Aye.
trustee Evans, trustee Lopez. Mayor Williams.
Aye, consideration action, acceptance of Village of Chelmsford Water Management report.
Second.
Roll call.
Trustee Henry,
Aye.
Coffey,
Aye.
trustee Evans, trustee Lopez. Mayor Williams.
Consideration approval of the cash bond agreement with Association 33 West Main Street. Roll call.
Trustee Henry,
Aye.
Coffey,
Aye.
trustee Evans, trustee Lopez. Mayor Williams.
Aye, consideration approval of resolution requesting the traffic signalization on 119 and Goodwin Avenue. Second. Roll call.
Trustee Henry,
Aye.
trustee Coffey,
Aye.
trustee Evans, trustee Lopez. Mayor Williams.
Aye. Consideration adopting local law number 2, 2023, local law amending chapter 1 of the Code of Village of Upshur entitled General Provisions to add new article 2 entitled Meetings of the Public Bodies. So move. Roll call.
Trustee Henry,
Aye.
Coffee,
Aye.
trustee Evans,
Aye.
trustee Lopez, Mayor Williams.
Aye. Consideration adopting resolution to provide for written procedures pursuant to open meetings law 103A for remote attendance by members at meetings of the village boards, committees, commissions, and qualified public bodies. Second, I'll second. Roll call.
Oh, Luca.
Yeah, no, why not? I said
Trustee Henry,
it.
Aye.
Coffee,
Aye.
trustee Evans,
Aye.
trustee Lopez, Mayor Williams.
Aye. Consideration adopting resolution in opposition to discharge of any point of contaminated water into the Hudson River. Roll call.
Trustee Henry,
Aye.
Coffee,
Aye.
trustee Evans,
Aye.
trustee Lopez, Mayor Williams.
So I got you.
Correct.
Good, thank you. Committee reports. Trustee Henry.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to start off by thanking Chief Signor and the fire department for doing a great job. The month of March, they responded to 58 fire calls. Also like to thank EMS Coordinator Diaz for doing a great job with his personnel. They responded to 39 EMS calls in the month of March. We had one major incident on 287 on March 25th, which was pretty unique in that it was a rollover accident with entrapment, and it involved 4 agencies working together. White Plains, Fairview had been dispatched further east on 287 for the same accident. So they contacted Chief Signor and he had them come in to assist us. So we had our fire department, our EMS, White Plains Fire Department, and Fairview. I think the last time White Plains Fire Department was in our district was for the A&P warehouse fire in the 1960s, if anyone remembers that. So I thought that was, it was unique. That's all I have tonight, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We still miss you.
I'll be back soon.
I know, May's coming quick. Bring the good weather with you.
I will.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Coffey.
The building department, I don't have anything further to add to Tony's report, other than thank him for the great work he does all the time. And as far as the arts and library, they haven't sent me any programs, but I was at their board meeting at the end of last month. And they have some intriguing things that they're planning on doing. One is something similar to what Greenberg does. If you don't have a Fire Stick or Roku, but you know, Greenberg will allow you to borrow, take one out as long as you have a Greenberg, Greenberg GPL library card. Arts is planning the same thing. Apparently, they seem to have over the money this year, so they're planning on spending. And they're also thinking of doing something where they'll buy tickets to museums, and that you can go in based on, as long as you have a library card, you make an appointment, you get tickets to go to like the Met or MoMA or something like that in the city. So, considering those tickets could run upwards of $25 to $40. And that's all I have on that.
Thank you, sir. That sounds exciting.
Yeah.
Trustee Evans?
The work never ends for Brian and his team, but we appreciate their hard work day in and day out. So thank you all. The most exciting news report this evening is that the winter equipment has been cleaned and put away. So there is great optimism that we were not going to need that for quite a while. As a result of the winter equipment going away, the speed humps have come out. So you can expect to see those later this week and next week as well. Our favorite street sweeper is scheduled to start later this week. Look forward to that performance. As a result, we're also in the process of getting our parks clean, planting the grass, getting the equipment clean, really getting that change of season going. We borrowed equipment from Tarrytown. This is a new term for me. We borrowed their hot box which was used to fill potholes with hot blacktop or more permanent fix. Than the usual path material that we use in there. Absolutely referenced earlier the work that Brian and his team were putting into to maintain our roads, and this is just another example of building those bridges with other municipalities to make sure that we're getting the job done and delivering for our residents here. So we of course appreciate that level of collaboration and hard work, and of course that daily day-to-day maintenance that we should never take for granted, but that we see on a daily basis. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And we can hold you to that. Snow plows.
Absolutely.
Okay, you got it. Trustee Lopez.
Constables. The constable for the village election day on March 21st from 4 p.m. till the close at 9 p.m. They also assisted with the Dixon School Marchathons walk on March 30th at 9 a.m. Constable for the village Easter event at the local park on April 7th from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. The constables continue to work the Sunday morning short details on March 26th, April 2nd, which was Palm Sunday, and April the 9th, which was Easter. Water. All the park bathrooms were open for the season. That is spring cleanup. The water department continues with the daily water test and mark sites. IT. IT has been busy working with our radio system. This system is not working properly and cannot be trusted. Just this past week, the entire system went down for a few days. Mike continued to his daily support to the village. And I believe that's all I have.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to thank Commissioner Foster and the police department for always doing a great job. Thank you, sir. As Trustee Lopez just reported on the constable, I was one of those constables that worked 4 hours on Easter Eve and 8 hours on Easter Day because they added another mask. We were there from 7:30 in the morning till 3:30 in the afternoon. Hundreds, and because there were thousands of parishioners there, hundreds of parishioners thanked me for being there and keeping them safe. We have the same ones every week that thank us for being there. And then it goes down to only a handful. But then after an incident happens at another church, it's everybody that thanks us for being there again. Actually, Trustee Coffey's over here. But on Easter, since it's the holiday, more and more people thank us for being here, for keeping them safe, and which is nice. It's good to hear that they say they're able to go in and worship without having to worry about something happening. As I briefed the commissioner this morning on Easter Eve and Easter Day, one of the masses had almost 600 people at the mass. So you can imagine how it was very hectic for us, but we were able to assist the church and everybody was safe and we kept them very orderly. And so I can say we did a good job. So Commissioner, thank you for believing in that. It's one of my programs that we instituted years ago when the first church shooting happened, and it's working out really great. So glad that we still volunteer our time to do that. For those of you who weren't watching on TV last week, we swore in a new judge, Judge J. Pilat. For those of you who don't understand the process, we had a vacancy. Our last judge had to leave the bench. And up until a certain point, actually up until election eve, it still could have been my appointment to fill the spot as there isn't vacancies. We all decided that we were looking for an attorney because of the bail reform and everything else. So we waited, still couldn't find anybody. So the election still had to take place. And that actually was the last couple of days before the election. Did some people pop up and express interest. So we elected a new judge. So we welcomed him at our reorganization this week. I attended the grand opening of ShopRite. It was very nice. I went inside, checked it out. It's a nice supermarket. A lot of our residents were there. Many residents were there. The Grady School Band sang. So it was nice to see that. All three of our food pantries went well. April's food pantry schedule is Saturday the 15th, Community Food Pantry at Mount Carmel, Wednesday, the 26th, the public school food pantry at Alice E. Grady Elementary School. And Saturday, the 29th, Echoes Africa Initiative. We've moved the food pantry from the senior center to DeLuca Park, because every time it rained, they had to cancel. So we tried it last week and it worked because it did rain. Again, we would have had to cancel 2 weeks, and we put them under the pavilion at DeLuca Park, and it worked out just perfect. So they were able to still have the people came in, got wet going in and out, but at least the food and stuff can get wet, so they were able to still have it, and they had a very nice tournament, and everyone's getting very large, so that's, it's nice. As trustee Lopez mentioned, the constable assisted with the public school walkathon, and that was, very well attended. It was really nice to see all the kids from the school walk up and back, the left of Dixon School, walked the grade school back, and again, the regular police department, and the constables assisted that, so Commissioner, that was nice that we did that. And he was always out there, as he always is, so he believes in, that's another story. I'm gonna digress for a minute. Sometimes I pick on one of the other guys. I'm gonna pick on him for a minute. That he's one of the few department heads in the police departments that actually participates in events like that. I mean, he was out there directing traffic. I asked him, Commissioner, would you like? Because I always set the schedule. I said, would you like to lead, or what would you like to do? He said, no, I'm gonna take a traffic course, and he stood there and directed traffic. So hats off to you again for always being out there. Tomorrow we're gonna be out there with the escort for our gas constable firefighter, Angel, who passed away. And again, he'll be out there on the corner directing traffic, and you don't see that in other communities, so I commend you for that. So, and anybody who's listening, when you see the commissioner, thank him for being a good commissioner and a police officer. He's always said that, I'm a police officer first. I attended the grand opening ribbon cutting ceremony at the beer distributor Saturday. New York Beer Wholesalers, whereas we gathered today with family, friends, and supporters to celebrate the grand opening of New York Beer Wholesalers located at 50 North Central Avenue, New York. Whereas we commend owner Armando Mija for making a big investment in the community. Whereas a new beer distributor will service people not just from Elmsford, but from all over Westchester County. Whereas a new beer distributor will draw people from outside Elmsford to the village, and they will shop at other places in the village where they're here, further supporting businesses in Elmsford. Whereas the village of Elmsford thanks Armando for believing in Elmsford and calling Elmsford home for his business. Whereas the Elmsford trustees, administrator, village staff, and I wish Armando from the New York Beer Wholesalers many successful years in business. And therefore, I, Robert Williams, Mayor, Village of Elmsford, do hereby proclaim that Saturday, April 8th, 2023, the New York Beer Wholesalers Day in the Village of Elmsford. So he was very happy with the donation that we gave him. Yeah, no examples. He did a lot of work on the store. Yeah, he said he had a lot of issues with the electrical and stuff, but he laid it out nice with his rows of pallet racking, and everything was more visible. It was nice. I had a Zoom meeting with Greenberg I will have a Zoom meeting with Greenberg about our cemetery, interested in some history about it. Do we have a name of somebody to clean headstones, because they have one that they want to do. So I'll be doing that this week. The Little League Parade is on the 15th at 9 o'clock, same time, same date, same place. It has the food pantry, so our constables will be a little spread thin that morning. But once again, we'll get it covered, and we'll have all the details covered. I'd like to thank and commend Sandy and Diana once again for the senior program. We had 4 to 6 seniors at the program. Now we're getting 50, 60 out of them. 50, 60 of them are coming. All the seniors have not stopped thanking us for what we're doing. They're enjoying all the events and the weekly senior get-togethers. I have to tell a story. You know me, I always add something into somewhere. At one of the events, I noticed one of our seniors who was 89 years old. She had signed up but wasn't there, so we called her. I asked one of the girls, I said, if you call her, and she said her ride is going to be here late, but she'll be there. She didn't want to miss the event. I think it was the bingo. Not 10 minutes later, she showed up at the senior center. I said, oh, is she going to ride? No, she walked. She walked from one of the almost the furthest point on the south side, all the way to the senior center, because she didn't want to miss that event at 89 years old. So God bless her. And she said, Mayor, I haven't missed one of the events yet. I haven't come here in years and revitalize it. And I'm so excited. Wasn't going to miss it. So she was really excited, and we're happy. So she said to thank everybody. So here I'm thanking my colleagues that the seniors are just having a blast. So we've also had, and I think some of the other office staff have heard them. There's a gentleman stopped in the other day, adult children, the senior stopped at Village Hall to thank us for the program. He stopped in the hallway and he couldn't stop ranting and raving. He said, it's all his mother does is call him on Sunday and say, hey, you gotta drive me here to this day, here to this day, here to this day. And she spoke all week long. So it's really nice to hear that from the adult children of the seniors. I heard it again on Sunday as I was at church. All the seniors were there at Easter. They all can't wait for the next event. So we're doing a great job. We came up with another good idea, and we're definitely servicing the senior community, which they really like it. So, and this month's calendar we mailed out. So we have the normal senior meet. They also requested yoga and Zumba. So we're gonna have yoga and Zumba, so we can have them, and the seniors are gonna pay, and then we'll reimburse the person from there. Bella Duran is sponsoring a lunch tomorrow. We have 30 seniors signed up for that. They're gonna come and give a talk about pre-planning your funerals, and he's providing lunch for the seniors. We have a day at the races. I saw a video at a place in Pennsylvania that has day at the races. So instead of doing bingo, they wanted something different. So Frank Rosigno for $43 made me 6 horses, and they're about yay high. And we move them along, and we roll the spin the dice, and so that's going to be fun. So they can't wait for that. On the 19th, the superintendent of schools is coming in to discuss the budget like he always did with the seniors. And the police department is sending 2 representatives to talk about scammers. And then we go to our senior meet, and we go Zumba. Casino trip is rescheduled to the 24th. There was 1 seat left today, so at 56 seats. So, I don't know if it's sold or not, but I'll check that tomorrow. But that's amazing that they all want to go. So they want to get rescheduled. So then we have our fire prevention and safety. The chief of the fire department is coming in to talk about fire prevention. We had our EMS coordinator come in, and I'd like to say publicly that we had a very large crowd for him too. And he did a fantastic job. He was able to explain our program. And he talked about a whole bunch of other stuff. So I got to commend Nelson for doing a wonderful job on the EMS talks. The seniors really love it. As you see from some of my emails, the CDC warns there's a Candida fungal infection spreading in the United States. Okay. The CDC is warning a salmonella outbreak linked to flour. And any flour. The CDC warns about a baby cirrhosis disease is on the rise. The CDC warns of an invasive strep A infection rising in parts of the United States. Con Ed is celebrating their 200 years of energy, which is interesting because I didn't think we had electricity that long, but Con Ed was founded in 1823. So the gas lighting company went on to establish what they are today, Modern Electric Company. So I guess we can congratulate Con Ed for giving us lights. The Muscoot Farmers Market is back. It started on April 2nd and it'll run through November 19th. So that's if anybody has something to do those days, it's always nice to go up and see them. It's a lot of fun. Interesting facts from Westchester County. Westchester County ranks in the top 6 statewide in the health outcomes and factors that people were doing better here than other places in the county, which is good. So it's nice to hear that our medical coverage is good here. The MetroCard band schedule is out for April 2023. All the different locations. I emailed that out. March 29th is Vietnam Veterans Day. We always like to thank our Vietnam veterans for your service. The Grid Awards, as you see, is up on the wall here. That's something we've been talking about. It's a nice program where real power is knowing when not to use it. An award-winning free app that tells you when and how to reduce your energy usage, or cash payments to reduce your electric bill when you're around. Unplug during events. The Grid Rewards events are the most important times to save electricity. They're going to tell us when they're happening. Usually during hot summer afternoons, they reach their peak in electricity, and they're going to let us know. So if we turn down our electricity, I turn the air conditioner lower, turn the light here and there, they can save electricity. And usually happens 5 to 10 times a year, and they're going to pay us for doing that. That's gonna be interesting to do that. And every person that you refer to sign up, you get $10. So on top of that, so that's gonna be an interesting thing. April 22nd is the 53rd anniversary of Earth Day. I remember that vividly. We always promote reduce, reuse, recycling, and it's a wonderful thing. We always, last year, a couple of years ago, we gave out, what's his name? Mr. Presley donated trees. Again, and we've done that every couple of years. He gets 1,000 trees, and we go to the school, we hand them out. So we've always, this year's, their theme is keep the earth clean and green, mature to nature, go green and save green, and climate change. So it's always good to partner with the schools to promote Earth Day, and it's nice that the kids can see that and learn that. So, and on my last note, I'd like to wish our administrator Mike and his wife Janice a happy anniversary this week, and a piece of cake for you on the way out. Administrator.
Share a cake with you and wish you a happy birthday coming Thursday. That's what I believe it is, right?
Friday. Close. The 14th is Friday. So it's yours the 12th.
So it's a good-
Yeah, is that right?
Yeah, so
Yeah, yours is the 12th, right?
it's a happy birthday, yes.
Happy anniversary. Yeah.
Still all the good things.
Go start, anything to say? Yeah, why not, you're here? Nothing at all, like hi. I'm doing a great job, nothing. Maybe the treasurer? Last chance now. Still there.
You guys spoke with that.
Good boy. All right, Waters. Hi. Hi, hi, guy.
Mr. Mayor, request.
I didn't say you guys just didn't say it. Didn't really say something.
Mayor, request a brief executive session with the Commissioner, please.
With him,
Yes,
topic,
personnel.
with us.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. I thought you said just with him.
Before we do that, Mr. Mayor, can I have 2 minutes? Sure. Mike, can I have an update on the radios, please?
Which might,
IT.
The radio, the repairs for the contract were signed last week. They were submitted to ESS, and we're waiting on shipment confirmations of all the equipment.
Can you tell me what happened between Thursday night and Sunday morning with the radio system?
They continue to go down.
They went completely out of service?
They have large portions of times they were.
And do we know the reason for that?
It's going to probably be the same reason we've had this going on.
This really bothers me. I don't know if it bothers anybody else here before, but it really bothers me that our police officers, sometimes they're out there by themselves, they have no ways of communicating. It really bothers me. Mike, Mr. Mayor.
could I address the radio?
Yeah, can you let me finish and then you can say whatever you want to say. But, what would it take for us to get a brand new radio system for the village? What would it take? What needs to be done?
Don't know the answer to that.
Who will know the answer to that question?
I think our consultants would, which they've already told us that that's not our problem. That everything can be fixed and updated, which is in the process of being done. And that if you were to buy stuff right now, try to buy a full system, you'd be in the same boat that they're in trying to replace equipment. You can't get the equipment right now. Equipment is ordered. Example, we ordered stuff 2 weeks ago that is addressing one of the new areas we found, which has to do with the antennas. That stuff some of that stuff is mostly off the shelf. We're getting it this week, 2 weeks later, I believe. And that's the case of its supply chain stuff. In terms of what you kind of just said, that we don't have a system that works, that's false. We do have a system. And
So when a system
but
goes.
I'm going to
down for
continue to
3
say
days-
this, I'm going to continue to say this, I'm going to continue to repeat it over and over again. Steve can back me up and Mike can back me up. The main system goes down. There is an adequate, more than adequate backup system that is in place. It works. It takes 2 seconds to roll from this chair to this chair to use that system. Then secondarily, thanks to Steve went to the county and got us another system to back up that backup system with radios. That works adequately. There is no time other than a few seconds here or there that there should be any breakdown in communications if the guys are following what has been put in place for them for the last month and a half. Plain and simple. Ask Steve.
I don't need to, I don't need to.
And but I believe it's unfair for you to make that statement.
What is statement that I'm saying that the radios don't work?
That it doesn't work. They have nothing to use. That's not
That's
true.
not what I said. What I said was that the radios don't work. I don't know if you talk to the office, you're the administrator of this building. Don't you feel responsible to make sure that they have good communications when they're on the road?
That's
What
why
if your
there's.
son is on the road, running behind somebody, and he has
You asked me a
no.
question, let me answer.
Okay.
That's why there's a backup system. There's a backup system for the police department and the fire department. It works adequately.
According to you, yes.
Steve, does it work?
The backup system works.
How does it work? How reliable is it?
Other than on my sheets here, I got one time that the whole system went down. That was hold on, I got it here for you. Let's see. On 3/23/23, over 51 hours. Portables went out and backup went out. I don't know how long it was down for though. But the main system goes down constantly now. It was down for the whole weekend.
Which, when that backup system goes down, which is down once, what do you do then, Steve?
Then we have the other radios now.
Which we got from the county to use, permission, the trunk radios from the county. correct?
Yes,
Do they work?
yes. But to expand on trustee Lopez, and the main concern of our guys is there's too many things for them to do.
So they
It's,
gotta take 3 radios every time they go outside?
no, they only take 2,
And a cell phone, just in case.
just in case.
That's a very good system.
What you don't understand is we're doing.
No, I do
We're
understand.
doing
I do understand.
everything we possibly can do. We are not the suppliers. We are not the engineers. I cannot physically climb and change an antenna. I cannot physically make a radio system, a radio transmitter. We are working with 2 consultants, ESS and Goostown, and they are doing everything they possibly can do. What more do you want us to do?
That
We're
don't tell me that
doing
I don't
everything.
understand because I do understand. That's why I bring this up.
Okay, so what are we supposed to do?
Get a better system, something that the officer on the road will know at every single minute. You may laugh. To me, that's not funny.
How are we
What I
getting
want-
the better system? Who are we getting it from?
Something that is reliable. That is something that we should be working on. Getting something
We've
that is
been
reliable.
doing.
No, we've been patching the system here and there
No,
for years. That's what we've been doing, patching here and there, fixing things here and there. I think it's time for us to start thinking about something else.
Mr. Mayor, may I approach?
No. And then- Anything else?
But I do understand, so please don't tell me that I don't understand, because I do understand. I'm not as stupid as you think I look. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Motion to adjourn the meeting. Executive session. All in favor? Gentlemen, thank you. Ladies, thank you. See you. Thank you.